Hi, this is World History. This is day 9. This is 9B, and we're talking about the geography of Africa and preparing for our in-depth analysis of ancient Egypt, which is in Africa. That's the modern border today, but in ancient times, the civilization stretched a little bit farther south and sometimes took over some other regions. There's a photo from our Niger River basin. Lovely photo there. And another photo from our Niger River basin. Again, right here, an important source of life and food from God in Africa, in Western Africa. The third note to write down in our world history notebook is that Africa is a large plateau. It is the highest continent on average above sea level. So that's kind of cool. So a lot of it is above sea level. A lot of it is set up from the coast. So that's really interesting. Kind of probably makes some nice fresh air, up there. Also being a little bit closer to the sun directly due to that large plateau feature. So kind of thinking about that. And part A is that due to that status of Africa being largely a plateau as a continent, which means that it's raised up from the sea and that a lot of Africa is above sea level, the rivers are difficult to access from the sea, especially the Atlantic Ocean and the river accesses there, and then the Indian Ocean. Cataracts and waterfalls along the rivers as the land rises and falls to reach that plateau status above sea level. Waterfalls also impede navigation. One of the largest falls is Victoria Falls that falls into Lake Victoria. It's good to remember that rivers sometimes flow towards the north. The Nile River is one of those, so it actually empties into the Mediterranean Sea. So it was easier to travel north because that's the direction the river is flowing, whereas to travel south was harder for traders, etc. So here we have Victoria Falls, and you can see it's just this huge chasm in the earth falling over. And I think it's interesting because there's a kind of an ordinary road going by with cars there and a bridge, like an ordinary highway, and then this huge cataract falls right there, which is awesome. Beautiful, the world that God has made. That's Victoria Falls in Africa. The fourth note to write down is that also making it a little bit difficult for trade directly from the oceans, Africa has a regular or smooth coastline and few natural harbors that go in the coast for a while. So if you compare it to some other continents, some of them have more land that goes in for a while and kind of these different harbors where boats can safely go in. But the African coast is fairly uninterrupted with these smooth coastal lands here. And if you don't take that word for it, of the 50 busiest ports in the world, Africa has just one of those. And that is Port Said in Egypt. It's the 28th busiest in the world. Again, Egypt, Port Said. And there's Port Said in Egypt up there. Right there. The fifth note to write down, you may be aware that Africa has several major deserts, and this map shows us some of that, where we have the greener, lusher vegetation areas, and these yellow areas are desert areas. So you can see Northern Africa here, Saudi Arabia here. This is our famous Sahara Desert. And this is the Kalahari Desert, which you may have heard of because of the indoor water park that's being built in Round Rock. But first of all, it was a desert in southern Africa. The Sahara is the world's largest map. Sorry, it's not the world's largest map, it's the world's largest desert. And if you take a look at this map, you can see where major deserts are in places around the world.